Yes, we are back.
We are back. Listen, man, it's the Free Jam Podcast, man. Listen. We got a whole new setup for those people that are tuning in on YouTube right now. You know what I'm saying? If you on Spotify, Apple Music, and all that other stuff, you might not see what's going on. But we got the Scarface quote in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bravery Studio. Shout out to Marvin and all that.
This is a certified hood classic.
I got to get used to the new setup.
It's mine. Yeah, me too.
Microphone to the side. We don't got the headphones in. It's a little different. You feel me?
It's okay. Feel me? We adjust though. That's we call audibles and we execute all day.
Listen, man. I'm gonna say this. It's Halloween weekend, and when I tell you it's been an eventful one, spooky season, bro.
Spooky season, yeah.
When I tell you it's been eventful as fuck, though, man, I had a hell of a weekend.
Nah, me too. I had a great weekend.
And you know what? I just realized exactly what happened on Friday. See, now I remember. Shout out to Kodak. My son Kodak was in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Word?
Yeah, at XL Lounge, bro. Yo, bro, and I tell you that shit was a movie.
Word?
Yo, when I say Jersey showed out for Kodak, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, you ain't even tell me.
See, no, I don't want to hear that, bro. Because you tell me you was at a house party in Wayne, like that's not the mansion. I don't want to talk about it. Listen. You think niggas is your friend until you realize niggas don't invite you nowhere. You feel me? Niggas be at older spots. We not gonna talk about the shit you told me about last week where you was at. You know what I'm saying? We don't gotta talk about that. Because I'm highly upset about that. You know what I'm saying? The fact that niggas didn't call me. I wish I could say the story on the podcast, but I don't think it's the right time or place for that. But another note, man. How was your Halloween weekend, man? I mean, it's Saturday. Halloween not till Monday. So, I mean, technically, it was Saturday. It's Sunday now.
It's Sunday now. Tonight and tomorrow, technically.
It's still lit.
It's still lit.
It's still going up. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you dress up at all?
Nah. Hell no, nigga.
You, of course you didn't.
I'm one of them niggas. I'm walking in the spot.
You pulling up to a Halloween party with no
costume.
No costume on.
They lucky I didn't wear sweats to the party.
Regular.
I damn near almost wore sweats to the party.
Regular.
I ain't gonna lie. Because, I mean, for real, I don't gotta wear anything. Like, why would I have to get dressed, nigga? Like, I'm not going out of my way to spend the time, the money. I'm just not doing it.
You could throw something on together, feel me?
Like
about being creative. I don't know.
Nah, you know what I seen? I seen a lot of niggas that was cold as fuck outside. That's what I did see.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why niggas Halloween be outside, t-shirts and shit.
Yo, listen. I ain't gonna lie, yo. Women got it, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all do it. I really don't know how y'all do it.
Heels.
Yes. Naked.
Bro.
There's a famous quote, though. It says, a hoe never gets cold. And I ain't calling her
Cardi B.
Because the girl said that. Oh, it was Cardi B?
Yeah.
See, I don't even remember that. But listen. Nah, you're a bird ass nigga. Nah, yo, shout out to Cardi though. She jumped on that Tomorrow 2 shit with Glorilla. Yo, when I tell you that might be one of my favorite songs right now, and I don't even play that shit myself, but when I hear that shit outside, I'm like, the way I see girls' reaction, because I've been in the club the last 2 days straight, and that shit has been a movie, bro. They throw that Tomorrow 2 on, it's over, bro. The shit goes up. I love that shit. And you know what, too? Niggas was trying to play my son Kodak because I was bigging up Kodak the whole time. You feel me? I was going crazy when I seen Kodak performing. I actually seen Kodak performing like 2017, but motherfuckers was trying to act like Kodak ain't a fucking voice of this generation. Like he not one of them ones.
He's
People try to
cornerstone of this generation.
No, thank you.
People don't realize that.
He's the voice of his generation for real. Like there's a couple artists like him, YoungBoy. Drake's the voice of a whole world right now. So it's not even a generation.
Him, YoungBoy, Baby. There's a few. Feel me?
Baby, I feel like his run's too short still.
As far as he
not fucking with how Kodak's run been since 2015.
Legit. So it's like 2015.
Baby got popping in like 2017. 2017 he started like making noise. You feel me? And then 2018 he started running, and niggas are still saying Gunna was better than him for a minute.
I remember
and then like 19, 20, Baby was out of here. You feel me? But real life, Baby's been on top for how long? You feel me? But
Kodak really,
bro, Kodak, man, and people be trying to act like, oh, what's the last? Girl just asked me, she was like, what's the last hit he made? I'm like, the hottest song in the club right now. When people that we should have been superstars.
That Super Gremlin. It should have won that award, but
yeah, we're not gonna get into that. You know, you're not giving Kodak no fucking awards.
But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. But in reality, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Kodak really be wilding, bro.
Oh yeah,
100%. I don't even know how he shouldn't even be out in the streets, bro.
Bro, first
he's
of all,
a hazard to society. Yo, listen. Have you ever actually read his rap sheet?
Nah, I ain't read his rap sheet. You don't have to read his rap sheet. If you see Kodak, he look guilty.
Nah, bro.
The nigga look like he did whatever they accusing him of.
Yes. Listen.
Whatever they accusing him of, he probably did.
If you read all the charges, all the shit he was accused of, and look at his picture, be like, yeah, that's it. A composite sketch of what you think the person did who did all this. I'm like, yeah, that's him. That's him. He did that.
I ain't gonna lie though.
He really needs to be not in these streets though.
Nah, don't say that. What you saying right now? You saying you want Kodak in jail? So no Super Gremlin, no Walk. None of these tracks would be out right now.
Listen.
Nah, you bugging right now. I'm not standing with that one. Not Kodak. Not the GOAT.
Listen. Do your homework.
I know. He has bad charges. It's bad charges.
Bad charges, bro. It's like a novel.
Nah, word too.
No, like I'm like, yo, bro, this one person did all this, and he's still out here in the streets.
Nah, bro, he pulled the most legendary shit I ever seen in my life. To this day, I don't understand. This thing got a presidential pardon. Him and that was the illest fucking play I ever seen by Donald Trump. And the thing is, like, I heard Kodak when Kodak did that interview with Sunday Conversation with Caleb Presley.
Yeah.
He did the my name Kodak bad, but when you see me, I'm white. Yo, watch that whole interview, bro. It is pure fucking comedy. But I probably watch that interview like once a week just to get some enjoyment because that shit is so fucking funny. But he said some ill shit in that. They were like, yo, so Trump pardoned you. Like, how was it getting a favor done like that for Trump? He was like, I did that for him. And I was like,
That's a fact.
It didn't resonate with me till like the 10th time I watched this shit, and I was like, yo,
he did do that.
Trump only freed the only black people he freed was rappers. Why? Because he knows the hood gonna fuck with him after that.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, we supporting Trump. He free Wayne.
Remember he was supporting ASAP Rocky too, feel me?
Oh, see, Trump knows what he's doing. Trump knows, and then ASAP, he got the whole black audience in one casting right there. Because you got the hipster pop niggas like ASAP Rocky, the niggas that like the fashion and all that. Then you got the old head niggas that love Wayne. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you got the young and the super hood niggas that love Kodak. So you know what I'm saying? Trump, that was a hell of a power play. That was chess.
Nah,
that
it really was.
Nah, that man plays chess. I respect it. I can't be mad. And I ain't gonna lie, the more and more we keep progressing through these years, man, niggas keep talking about they want Trump back. I hear more and more niggas in the barbershop talking about, yeah, we need Trump. And I don't know no more. I'm lost. Politics got me fucked up. I don't know what's going on. What I do know is that I'm probably still not gonna vote. That's what I do know. And I don't mean to promote that. Go vote. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just ignorant.
Nah, I understand what you're saying.
It's wild, bro. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this election's coming up. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you need to take it upon yourself to do your own research.
But see, and that's exactly why it's never gonna happen.
But I'm saying like it's easy to do, he said, she said, or articles or with clickbait titles, but you need to actually, especially because election season's here. You feel me? Primaries.
Facts.
And like I've been preaching before, we don't know nothing about primaries and nothing. Like, and then we show up every 4 years thinking like,
fuck it, let's vote for president. Right.
Yeah, like when we don't even know the candidates that was running before, and the ones that didn't get the seat for their party, who we might have wanted to vote for, and if we had of, maybe they would have got that seat. Yeah. We don't know anything, and every 4 years pop up, and we want to act like it's all important. We don't really know anything. Nah. We won't even try to know anything.
Yeah, bro. I don't know, bro. But, hearing you go on your tirade about politicizing certain things made me realize, like, you're so fucking
everything
right.
is political, bro.
Bro, shit is crazy.
And the problem with politicizing something, now it doesn't even have to be truthful. It doesn't even matter what the truth is anymore.
That's deep.
You know why? If I'm a political candidate and somebody says something wrong about me, oh, that's fake news. Fake news media. And everybody's like, okay, oh yeah, fake news. Yeah. The fake news media is out to get them, out to attack them.
Nah.
That's dangerous. That is dangerous. That is really dangerous. But nothing's real anymore once you politicize it. The truth, it depends on what your agenda is. That's your truth.
Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't even matter what the real truth is anymore.
Damn.
It gets really spooky. It gets really scary.
That is fucking scary, bro.
Just like the example that was a hot topic recently with George Floyd. Mm-hmm. Saying that George Floyd died from fentanyl overdose, even though that in the coroner's report he died from asphyxiation.
Right.
You feel me? But the political play, my agenda fits that he died from the fentanyl overdose.
Right.
Even though it was proven that it was not true.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the truth is. It does not matter.
And people are really standing on that. People are already making documentaries.
Standing tall. The election got stolen, bro. What are you talking about? The election got stolen.
The election got stolen. Got it, yo.
To this day.
Matter of fact, back to Trump doing some gangster shit. Wait a minute. Let's talk about it, bro. This nigga led a fucking riot. Let's never forget that.
Yo, legit.
The nigga led a riot.
He did that.
He led a riot. First of all, he gassed a bunch of niggas to pull up to the White House and go break into the shit and start causing chaos. And the bitch ass nigga ain't even go into the White House. My son Trump went right back home after he did the speech. He said, "Meet me over there," and nigga went that way, like respectfully. And all them niggas is going to jail too. Don't get it. All them niggas is getting booked right now. To this day, motherfuckers going to jail for that shit.
They was about to beat up Mike Pence. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like it got really spooky.
That shit was gangster.
Bro, you want to talk about gangster?
That was some gangster shit.
You want to talk about gangster?
Overthrow the White House. Got it, yo. White people.
I ain't gonna lie. No,
y'all are so fucking gangster. Y'all so fucking tough.
Whatever you think about Trump, he's really top. He's really him.
No, he's really him. He's really him. He's him. He's really him. I ain't gonna lie. He's him.
Like no matter what you say about the man, you gotta respect it because who he is and he's very unapologetic.
He's not hiding it though. Yeah, you're right.
Yo, you want to talk about what's crazy? What about Mar-a-Lago?
Oh, that shit.
Listen to me. Yo.
I knew Trump was on some OD shit when the nigga was getting, I remember it'd be like FBI investigates Trump for this and that. Then when he was still in office, and the next week, Trump will fire the nigga, the head of the FBI or some shit. He'll fire the motherfucker that's like leading the investigations and shit. I'm like, yo, this nigga's a genius.
Listen, as a sitting president, obviously it's every 4 years. Your longest term is 8 years. You know it has to be a smooth transition to power. He's the only one who never succeeded the victory. And Mar-a-Lago, there's certain documents and stuff you're not supposed to take. This man had nuclear codes and all that in his Mar-a-Lago house. Listen to me.
Respectfully, he about to send them shit to Russia.
The FBI has reached out to him for I think it was like over a year or so, asking him to return the documents. He returned a few of the documents and ignored the rest of them.
He's on that shit.
When they broke in and found it, it was literally like stashed, tucked like a drug dealer. You feel me? Like it wasn't out in the open. Like all the.
That's what they're talking about. Mar-a-Lago. I thought, is it Mar-a-Lago a place?
Yeah, that's his golf home in Florida.
Don't he got his like dead wife living like buried in the golf course?
Bro,
Facts. No. Fact. I seen Vlad and Bucci talking about this shit the other day. Trump went and he got his ex-wife buried in the middle of his property. I don't know what that's about. That's some freak shit. I don't know, but I mean, to some people that sounds. I guess that's keeping them. Yeah, it might be sentimental. Like, keeping close to home. But a lot of people were saying that he had a lot of shit hidden in her tomb, and that's where he's hiding this shit.
Honestly, listen to me. I don't put nothing past that man.
Yeah,
listen, he's a man who's capable of anything, and the fact that he has enablers and he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
The fact that he's still walking around. You know how many indictments he's had over the past. You know how many FBI investigations.
Trump's the white Kanye. If Kanye wasn't getting canceled by everybody, if it was the opposite effect, and where everybody's supporting him,
and that's why Trump likes Kanye because they're the same person.
They're the same
person, different skin. They're literally the same person.
Truth telling.
Do whatever they want.
Matter of fact,
say whatever they want.
So Kyrie Irving, man, he's been in hot water apparently.
Yeah,
Kyrie Irving's on some bullshit. Once again, it's right back. Listen. Stay away from anti-Semitism, y'all. If you trying to keep your career, if you want to play for the fucking Brooklyn Nets, my nigga, don't mention nothing about anti-Semitism. Don't promote nothing because, they're coming for anybody.
Like I was telling you before, how they treat anti-Semitism versus racism or sexism.
Yeah.
How they allow the other two to normal. Any anti-Semitism is redder flagged than that, as it should be. But the thing about Kyrie, I like Kyrie. Kyrie's an independent thinker. He's a deep thinker.
He's also burnt out, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because the flat earth shit, he loses.
He's off it.
He lost him with the flat earth shit. I'm like, Kai's gone. Kai been smoking that shit.
And so Kyrie, he posted an older clip of Alex Jones. You know who Alex Jones is?
InfoWars? No. InfoWars?
Yeah.
That sounds like some shit that come on like cable TV.
It's okay. So Alex Jones is a big right wing supporter, Republican. He's the one who said St. Hook was fake.
Right. I was about to say, Alex Jones is getting sued, right? Is he getting sued for like $1 billion?
Yeah. First of all, he's coming up.
How the fuck does he got $1 billion to give away? Like, are they just making up random numbers? Because who's getting this billion?
You know how much influence he has to be over worth 100 M's.
Who's Alex Jones?
Yo,
100 M's and getting sued for $1 billion is crazy.
No, but I'm saying he has. But I'm saying is the other side of the fence is such a big influence, but we don't even realize that.
Right.
You know how many people follow him?
Right.
And follow what he has to say and the influence he has.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyrie posted a clip of him in the 90s.
Right.
And I will say this is you have to be wary of, especially if you're a public figure, of the people you're bigging up or the people you're endorsing or the seeming like you're endorsing.
Right. That's what Kyle was saying with the reporter.
And you have to realize is in reality, most people, if you pull up clips or anything they say, I'll agree with most people sometimes. no matter who it is. Trump, I agree with some of the stuff he says. It doesn't matter who it is. Certain stuff, I'll some if like just like Kanye's 3-hour interview. Kanye said a lot of good stuff in that interview.
Yeah,
he did. He said a lot of good stuff. But in reality, anybody who sits down for 3 hours, I'll pull out a clip or two that I can agree with.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
so it's more of about not the messages, who you're bringing up. Right. You feel me? Because Kyrie posted a clip of Alex Jones. People are like, oh, you support him.
Right.
Maybe missing the message that he was trying to.
What was the context of what Alex Jones said in that video?
I really don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember it to that extent, but I only saw the headlines. And I see it was Alex Jones clip. And I don't know what he said in it. I don't know if I necessarily agree. But at the same time, like I said, it doesn't matter who it is. There's some stuff that I'm going to agree with somebody with. They can be on, don't matter their political ideology. Certain stuff I will agree with. But it's more so the people that you're letting know that you agree with. Now it's like, oh, now you're on that side, Now you're supporting
the point. Like, you're supporting that whole person.
Exactly.
Point.
So I'm not saying this, but so you think Sandy Hook was a hoax, Because you posted Alex Jones,
What is that about, though? Why is that a conspiracy theory that Sandy Hook was fake, that the Boston bombing was fake? Like
political.
What do you win from that?
Because of
if you're a right wing,
because it's all about gun control. They want to take the guns. So,
the conservatives want to take the guns. The Republicans?
I'm saying.
Am I miswording that? Are conservatives and Republicans the same thing?
For the most part.
Yeah.
Progressive liberals, for the most part.
Right. But progressive liberals is the left wing.
Yes, left.
Okay, so it's progressive liberals versus conservatives. So one side wants shit to be make America great again, keep going back to old times. You know what I'm saying?
And the other side is LGBT and progressive and
right
and rights for all and
a transsexual Muslim president.
Yes.
Let's make that.
And what were we talking about?
I was trying to figure out what's the benefit of saying that Sandy Hook was a hoax, or saying that the Boston bombing was fake.
Because as far as
gun control, but I thought the Republicans and conservatives want the guns.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So when a tragedy like Sandy Hook happens, that makes it so the left or the progressives can call for more gun control, gun bans because of situations like that.
Oh, so that's what it is. So when him saying that it's fake, it's okay.
They're trying to ploy to take the guns away. You feel me? Like that and all that. So like I said, when we speak in politics, nothing's real anymore. It's all about who has the louder voice.
But like I didn't see so many conspiracy theories. I see motherfuckers pulling up clips of the Boston bombing and the Sandy Hook, and they'll be like, "Look, this person was a teacher in the Sandy Hook, but they have him as a runner here in the Boston bombing."
I've seen that. I've seen stuff like that. I don't know. I didn't do I haven't done my research on that particular. You feel me?
And it's like,
and that's the problem. And you have to listen. You have to realize how diabolical this stuff is. Like the people at the top hold so much power. So like, listen, if you're someone at the top with the power and the money, now you're funding these advertising campaigns. Yeah. And now you're funding these private research think tanks that sway things in your direction to get the masses to believe what you believe. So it's nothing. It's nothing's real anymore. Nothing's real anymore.
Yeah,
you have
right.
That's exactly how it works. Damn, that's exactly now they're funding. Now they're funding research and development that might or might not be true to sway people to their belief system. Wow. Of course.
What we segueing into? Go ahead.
it made me think.
Okay.
Thomas Jefferson actually had one. Thomas Jefferson, as far as
had a what?
He had independent researchers. So Thomas Jefferson, he had a group of scientists scientifically break down why Africans were inferior, why it was okay for them to be slaves, why it was okay for them to be subordinate because of how their brain is and how it's smaller and less developed than a white person's brain. So when you use that and use research behind what you're spewing, now it's easier to get the masses out. Now it's easier to justify your actions, no matter what it is. But it just made me think of how Thomas Jefferson did that.
What? And when I think about conspiracy theories and I think about like the government always up to something sneaky, I was just researching a little bit about something called MK Ultra, which I have a feeling you know something about.
No.
You don't know about MK Ultra?
No. Talk to me.
Oh shit! All right, so apparently after the fucking wars, I mean, after World War II or something, like around the 60s, no, around the 70s, 60s,
Okay.
70s, they were trying to develop like these brainwashed soldiers, pretty much. And the government was, this has all been proven, this is documented, they've admitted to most of it, all that. It's been plenty of books about it and everything. MK Ultra, look it up because it's the wickedest thing I've heard in a while. So the government was funding these researches where they were drugging people and giving them acid, like heavy doses of acid and like hallucinogens and meth and all kinds of drugs, just to see how it can affect them and how they can control them and how obedient they could be. Like they were trying to make a super soldier that would be like would have no emotion, right? Emotion, or they were trying to make a super soldier that have no emotion that can kill on command and also not have to be conscious of it. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. And this is documented. They literally had like little brothels and like little like hotels and stuff like that set up to damn near like they were damn near kidnapping people, bro, and putting them in these buildings and telling them like, yo, we're gonna do this research, and then you be in there, you sign up for it, you don't even realize, you've been in the drug binge for 2 months, and they're literally trying to brainwash you, bro. They were trying to make it so that they can also have people have amnesia. They were trying to give people on-call amnesia. So basically, they'll give you a message to go bring over to this, let's say this unit in the military, hand over that message, and they'll hit you with the dose of whatever it was so you don't remember anything you just said. So you wipe out everything in that person's brain. Because none of these messages were being transmitted. It wasn't like it was an email or a text, you know what I'm saying? It was Morse code and shit like that, and there's secret words and all that kind of stuff that was going on back then. But they needed to get the message across more clearly. Hey, look, we can give it to this person, but now can we trust that they're going to run off? Or are they going to do a Trump and hide the fucking documents in Mar-a-Lago like you was just saying? You know what I'm saying? So it kind of, I understand where they were going with it, but it was like some real Captain America shit.
That really, that doesn't surprise me.
At all.
If you actually research it, like, when you really look at history, you would think it's conspiracies. And just like the Tuskegee syphilis experiment.
Yeah, Tuskegee. You know who Charles Manson is, right?
Of course.
So Charles Manson, the serial killer, people don't know, he led a cult and had like six individuals that were running with him. They were running around just whacking people, like just killing motherfuckers all through California. I forgot where else they killed people, but I mean, RIP to all of them. But so Charles Manson was actually a product of MK Ultra. He got out of that program and he was burnt out ever since. But what he was doing, he was feeding all his disciples and shit, the people that were in his cult, he was giving them nonstop meth and nonstop shrooms and acid and all that kind of stuff. So they're all hallucinating, bugged the fuck out, on top of them already being vulnerable and susceptible to
manipulation
anyway. Now you give them these drugs, and these motherfuckers become cold-blooded killers. And it wasn't just men. He was running around with 19-year-old girls and shit. These girls they created some of the illest atrocities. I'm talking about they walked into houses and murdered 6-7 people at a time. Like, it was wild, bro. Yeah. And they say that he was a product. They didn't say it, it's proven. He was a product of MK Ultra like research.
I didn't even know that. Now let me give you another.
Talk about Tuskegee, because honestly, I haven't done enough research about Tuskegee besides the fact that I know Tuskegee experiment was performed on black people and somehow syphilis came from that.
They were basically injecting black people with STDs.
All of them?
I mean, they were doing their research. No, they were trying to do research studies on them. So you need test subjects. I'll give you another.
So they were like, let's do it with black people.
Of course.
What?
And I'll give you another example of the government experimentation. Have you ever heard of eugenics?
Eugenics?
Eugenics.
That sounds like some type of medicine that come with like one of them quick little undertone messages at the end. So how you might lose a leg if you try this medicine?
Eugenics was a term that was coined in 1883 by Francis Galton.
Yup, go ahead. Yeah. This is my favorite part of the show. Shout out to Kamal, because he always got these dates hidden in the back of your head. What the fuck? You like SpongeBob with the file cabinet, nigga. You got all the files somewhere. Like, you just pull this shit out.
I really do.
I know. I don't know how you do that shit, bro. It's actually fascinating.
So, eugenics, 1883 by a man named Francis Galton. Okay. An Englishman who's from England. And he's cousins with Charles Darwin.
Shit!
You heard Charles Darwin?
Of course. The theory of
evolution.
Evolution. Thank you.
Evolution.
Yeah, Darwin's theory. It's called Darwin's theory.
So, basically, eugenics was that there's a superior genes in this world, and in order for us to breed peak humans, that they need to breed, and the lesser so genes don't.
Whoa.
So you can already imagine who they're talking about. They're talking about your minorities, They were talking about Jews, anti-Semitism at the time. Yeah. They were talking about people on the spectrum. They were talking about if you were adopted, you had no chance. So it was coined in 1883, but it started picking up in the United States around the 1920s, and they were literally euthanizing and trying to make the people who they considered less the genes less perfect, as they wanted to make them infertile. So they were literally tens of thousands of people, tens of thousands of people in this country were given a shot to make them infertile because of eugenics. And they were trying to weed out and trying to breed the superior and the super, what they considered crazy, gene pool.
If you don't know this is wild.
People don't know this, and I don't mean to do this again.
I'm so glad I didn't get the vaccine. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to do this again, but that's where Hitler really got his influence from America, to see how they were moving with eugenics and sterilizing, and a lot of people he targeted: Jews, minorities, people on the spectrum, gay people.
What's even crazier too? Speaking of how everybody's influence has something to do with each other, MK Ultra, they went and they took all the Nazi doctors and Nazi scientists and brought them over to America.
Yo, it sounds like
the leader. I can't remember the leader's name. The leader of the whole MK Ultra experiment was a German doctor. His name is Mad German, and it's like, how are you the leader to an American military research that's going on, but you're a German doctor that was a clearly known Nazi. Like, you were a Nazi.
Yeah.
Now, it's also not known if he was a Nazi by choice, or they were just recruiting him because he was a great scientist or a doctor. They were like, oh, you're working for us, and you don't really have a choice.
Yeah, we don't.
It's either you're doing it or you're doing it. You know what I mean? If they come knocking on your door, then guess what? You wearing the patch, you getting on there, and all that. It's that.
But so eugenics, and Hitler was really impressed how America was using this. And then you already I don't need to tell you his story, but when he turned around at one point, he was like, wait, why are you guys coming at me? Even though I turned it up 10 notches, right. I'm just elevating the concepts and stuff that you guys already had. And it's crazy. Like I talked about in a previous episode, the anti-Semitism in this country, we erase act like it never happened after Hitler. We act like we never happened. We act like that we always supported the Jewish community. So eugenics. Go do your research.
Nah, I'm gonna have to. But that makes so much sense, because even my mom, I remember when the vaccine was coming out, I ain't gonna lie, me and my mom was the only ones that didn't want to do it. We was like, I'm not doing it. I didn't want to do it, honestly, because I just didn't feel like going to go get it. But
that sounds like you though.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds if you know me, you know. I'm just not going to take the time to go do it. But I also was a little sus about it, because I'm like, why? I was like, I didn't. It's not that I didn't see the reason why. I already had it. I was good. I lived through it. And I was also just like, I was a little thrown off. I'm very skeptical about medicine for real.
Yeah.
I'm not like, if you see me at the doctor or the hospital, that means this shit is over. Yeah. I'm on my deathbed.
You check. You about to check.
I'm about to check.
You about to check.
I think I'm about to die. Type shit. Like, that's the only way you're gonna see me ever there. Because I don't really trust this shit either. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially at that time during pandemic, where there were so many conspiracies about people getting killed left and right. And it honestly, it goes, when you say eugenics and I think about the population control, like, I feel like that's been a thing since the beginning of time. And you explaining that, and then the pandemic, and they hitting motherfuckers with the vaccine, and not only hitting you with the vaccine, they trying to give you $100 and a Metro card to go get the vaccine. It's like, since when do America give not only just free medicine, but pay you to take medicine? I'm not feeling it. Did you get the vaccine?
No.
You sure? Yeah. That was a little subtle. You waited a little bit. All right, I'm just making sure. No. Feel me? All right, so we gonna be good. Because when everybody turns to a fucking zombie, and you know what I'm saying, iPhones take over the world, we gonna be straight. We gonna be the last ones. You feel me?
But no, this is a crazy
population control. Got it. But my mom was also she was warning me. She was like, yo, watch. She said, give this shit 20, 30 years. You're gonna find out about the long-term effects of these vaccines and whatever they were giving people, because they were giving a bunch of first vaccines. Then it came with oh, you need a second one. Then it came with, oh, here's a boost.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling it, fam.
It
sounds very. Feel me? Eugenics. It sounds like it could be going up that way to Skeegee experiment style. You know what I'm saying? Like, you giving it to people for free. Free is crazy.
Free in this country,
exactly.
Free is crazy.
It's beyond free. They're giving niggas Yankee tickets to go get a vaccine.
And that's why the whole thing of for-profit medicine doesn't make any sense. Because if you really want to help people, why it doesn't? It's what it is. It's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
For-profit and medicine are conflict of interest.
Damn. That's for real. Because medicine's supposed to be like a humane ideology where it's like you're giving this to heal people that are in dying need, but then it's like, but you're charging them for it. And if you don't got it, guess what? Fuck you. You just swept under the rug. You're dead.
You need insulin? Oh well.
Yeah. And then I remember you told me the guy who created insulin sold the patent for like $1 or something like that, right? That's fucking wild. That's a real humanitarian.
Since we speaking on pharmaceuticals, have you ever heard of the Sackler family?
Who?
The Sackler family.
Nah, it was Sackler. Here it goes. In 1495, the Sackler family immigrated.
So the Sackler family were the ones who basically created OxyContin.
Oh shit!
And you know the whole opioid epidemic that's been going on. You know, 500,000 people died in 20 years from the opioid epidemic.
500,000 people died
in 20 years.
In 20 years
from the epidemic. Opioid epidemic.
Damn, bro,
and
that's fucking crazy.
The Sackler family,
what's that, like 40,000 a year?
Yo, which is crazy. That sounds crazy when you break down the numbers.
That's fucking crazy. No, it's 5,000 a year in 20 years. I'm tripping.
And the
or 2,500 a year? 25. Yeah, still a lot of fucking people.
And the Sackler family is being sued by every state for pumping and getting people to prescribe and buy it when they might not need it. They actually have a $6 billion settlement. People don't know about this.
What?
You ever heard about the Sackler family? That $6 billion settlement?
I've never even heard
legal
about
drug
this
dealing. Literally legal drug dealing.
And
literally.
They're getting sued now for pumping this. I mean, shit, it wasn't that long ago, 40, 50 years ago. Listen, you broke that leg, they hit you with some fucking morphine. Like, straight to the leg, huh? Like, in the Vietnam and all that kind of shit, you lost the leg, motherfuckers was hitting you with morphine straight to the leg. Here, huh? Pop this perk, huh? We're gonna get you back home. And then motherfuckers was coming home drugged up. They was off that shit.
So, it's just crazy to think about the difference between Big Pharma, the Big Pharma, and what's going on in the streets. It's the same thing. One's legalized, one isn't.
No, 100%.
Did anybody hear about the Sackler family? No. And when you have money, do you ever go to jail? No, you just pay more money.
Right. Nobody ever heard about the Sackler family, but we all know Big Meech. We all know Big Meech.
$6 billion settlement.
Yeah.
And
damn.
Speaking of
but
of
you're talking about a settlement. Nobody's going to jail for that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what's crazy.
Do you know how many people lives were affected?
That's what I'm saying. That's fucking crazy, bro. Big Meech is doing 30 for some cocaine. These motherfuckers been made billions. Killed over 500,000 people is what you just told me in 20 years.
In 20 years.
And they're just gonna get some money taken away. And they're gonna recoup, and they're gonna recoup the same fucking week.
It's no different what's going on in the streets. And we talking about all these government conspiracies. There was an investigative journalist by the name of Gary Webb on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. He created a docuseries that basically he spilled that the government, the FBI, and CIA were helping the cartels bringing drugs.
Oh, this
to
is
America.
facts, right?
Factuals.
This is factual.
Factuals. And after it came out, you know what happened to him?
He got killed.
Oh no, he died of suicide. But wait, there's more.
What happened?
He died from suicide, but there were 2 gunshots. One gunshot went through his cheek. So I guess he wanted to commit suicide, but he was a shaky warrior. So he died from 2 gunshots, but it was suicide. And then his wife came out and said, "Yeah, what? You know, Gary's been, you know, ever since this came out, you know, he's been acting real different. You know, I kind of think he killed himself."
AKA wifey had a gun to her head too. They was like, "Listen, bitch, you gonna play along with this fucking story? The nigga shot himself.
He killed himself by suicide with 2 gunshots. Look it up. Anybody?
She fucked around and killed them herself. They probably made her do it. Like, listen, you gonna kill this nigga, all right?
And so think about it. They were
that's crazy.
Working with the cartels.
2 gunshots got it, bro.
No, got it.
There's no way you shot yourself through the mouth and was like, all right, next shot.
It's documented
that
the government was working with Pablo Escobar. It's documented.
Yeah.
It is documented. So they were bringing these drugs and flooding the inner cities with them. And guess what the DA was doing? They was kicking out niggas street in the hoods.
And giving niggas life sentences for an eighth of crack.
Escorting the drugs in, and they were kicking down people's doors in the hood.
And that goes back to the whole population control and try to fertilize the people that they don't deem that should be creating life, where it's like the whole conspiracy of the crack epidemic and making it an epidemic, the war on drugs. Right. The whole point was we're gonna spread this crack into the hood. Now we're gonna turn these families into crack houses. These households are gonna eat crack houses. The father's gonna go to jail for 30 years for $100 of crack, which everybody had in their pocket at one point. And not only that, now the child grows up without a dad. The child goes into the same situation, and slowly but surely you take the man out, he can't create life no more, so the families are getting smaller and smaller.
And
it makes so much fucking sense, bro.
Everything you said was correct, and you got to add in, now they're getting state funded money from being in prison. It's all money. It's all a money play. You know how much these private prisons make? We talked about this before.
As much as I hate it, it's fucking wickedly genius. The amount of planning and how they made it happen. I mean, it took hundreds and thousands of years, but shit.
Now you are property of the state. They come in and flooded your neighborhood with it and round them up. Yeah. Now y'all property of the state.
If you ain't never heard of the Freeway Ricky Ross story, the real Rick Ross.
The real Rick Ross.
Not Maybach Music. Shout out to Maybach Music. All love and respect. But the real Freeway Ricky Ross, he has a hell of a story.
Yo, his story's crazy.
His story is crazy, and he was explaining like, listen, man. He said my plug was the government. He said I'm linking up with the military to get my drugs. Motherfuckers trying to figure out, how was he doing all this? How was he getting away with it? Because he was moving around with impunity because he was working with the government. He didn't even have to. He wasn't an informant. None of that. He was just like, this is my plug. And he was saying the same way that America was bringing guns over to the. To places like Peru and Colombia and those places, and so that those in Nicaragua has a lot to do with it too. But the government was giving them the weapons, and then in exchange for guns. I mean, in exchange for the drugs,
yeah.
Right? In exchange for the drugs, and that's because those countries were fighting a civil war within themselves.
So
anyway.
they needed the guns.
Yes, they needed the guns, but they didn't even know where to find these guns because these are literally poverty third world countries. So America's like, all right, we got you. We're gonna bring you some guns, and in the midst of all that. Hey man, there's plenty documented stories of OGs from the hoods that would say like, yo, bro, in LA, especially like in the 60s and 70s and 80s.
That's where Gary Weber's from. I don't know
he was the West Coast.
Well, I think it was San Fran actually, but
yeah, Northern California was just as bad, if not worse. You talking about Stockton, Richmond, the Bay, the whole Bay Area is shit, bro.
Oakland
it's one of the most impoverished areas, bro. You go to Richmond, fucking California. That's actually where Coach Carter was based off. You go to Richmond, California,
Richmond.
You go to Richmond, California, bro. You thought you seen a hood.
My boy Diaz is out here.
Well, shout out to Diaz. But look, so they were saying that the OGs and shit that I be watching a lot of interviews, they were saying even in Chicago, LA, all the hoods, bro, they said they would literally be walking the train tracks, like, and you would find a box of guns. Like, what was that movie called? With the Deuce. What was it called? It was like old school. OG Bobby Johnson was in that was the movie that was based on OG Bobby Johnson. Fuck, why is it not ringing a bell? What's that shit called? Marv, I know you know. What was that shit called? Great fucking movie, but it's super old school. It's not South Central. It's not Don't Be a Menace. He's holding his son on the cover. Not the point. But if you watch that movie, in that movie, they depict that. Where they're literally riding around, they will find boxes of guns. And not no fucking handguns. We're talking about Uzis, techs, machine guns. Where do you think...
illegal street guns.
Think about it. Where the fuck is a hood nigga about to go find a motherfucker that's... from Compton, California, in the middle of the 80s, 90s, where the fuck is he going to go find a Uzi from? Who has that plug? It has to be coming from the government. The military is who has those military-grade weapons. And they made it available by literally placing this shit around, and it was a play to let motherfuckers kill each other. That's why in Chicago there's so many unsolved murders, because they don't care.
Let them kill each other, and then the ones that they get down, they're part of the system now.
Yeah, it's all, exactly. And that's making them slaves. You know what I'm saying? Making them work for pennies on a dollar. For life.
Legal slavery. Now you're a convicted felon. Now it's hard for you to get jobs. Now you can't get certain loans. Now you can't vote.
You can't even move into certain places.
Now they got you shackled. That's what the 13th Amendment did. It just changed from the fields.
We getting real conspiracy theory on this episode. I ain't gonna lie. We unraveled like 10 of these.
From the fields to the prisons. From the fields to the prisons. That's all.
From the field to the yard.
That's literally all the transition was.
Damn.
And we want to talk about more conspiracy theories. We were talking about drugs, and you know how fentanyl is going crazy out here, and all the people dying of fentanyl.
Fentanyl's been relevant for a very long time, apparently.
But the way to eradicate having fentanyl,
Yeah.
just legalize everything. Legalize everything.
So you say that they should do that?
Absolutely.
So put heroin
absolutely
in the streets and shit? Like, fuck it?
It's not necessarily put in the streets. I think if you look at places like Amsterdam where everything is free, people don't. I mean, not free. Everything's legal.
Right. The drug
it's not emphasized like it is over here. Just like today, I can after here, I can go and buy a 2-gallon bottle of Henny to the face and kill myself from alcohol poisoning. But most people don't do it.
Right.
Most people don't do it. They can, but most people don't. Because it's a mindset. You're not actively out here trying to do that. Right. And if you think about all the teens that die of alcohol poisoning from parties and stuff. That doesn't happen in European countries where alcohol is legal for everybody. Right. That's only when it's illegal. You know, because it's normalized.
So people overindulge. You think
people overindulge, and
they're also getting unregulated.
That's why you have to legalize it. Yeah. Because even think about the prohibition. And when prohibition was going on, you thought you was getting certain alcohol. You didn't know what was really in it. And even back then, another government conspiracy theory about prohibition. So they would use manufactured alcohol. I don't know the right term. But they were converting it into drinking alcohol. So during prohibition, the government made companies add chemicals to that alcohol to make it poisonous. So if you try to convert it into
fuck?
Yeah, bro.
That's fucking
so
deep.
for the bootleggers. That's
crazy.
But if you think about it, like I said, the reason why everything's cut with fentanyl because it's not regulated. If everything was regulated, you know how much that would help the communities, all those tax dollars. If everything was legalized, you know how much you could really help the community. But now it's now you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know how it. You don't know who's cutting it. You don't know what's going on. And now it's easy for it to just slip in drugs. But if it's legalized and government regulated, like
people
you're not
gonna know where to go to get it, and it'd be a more reliable source where you're not gonna kill yourself.
Just like if before. Now alcohol, you can go to the liquor store. You're not about to go to the plug to buy no alcohol. Why would I do that when I can go to the store and get it cheap? You feel me? Just because it's commercialized, it's regular. Damn. You don't even think about it like it's anything too crazy because that's how it was. But back then, when it's all a social concept. Because back then, when bootlegging was a thing, right. It was different. It was acting like it was an illegal drug. But now it's normalized.
Motherfuckers were literally robbing liquor. Well, like people that were bootlegging shit. It turned into the violence
it was a whole underground market.
A lot more violence.
A lot more everything. A lot more at risk.
Geared towards that, right? Because people are like, oh, I can only get it here. All right, I'm gonna have to go rob this motherfucker so I can go sell that shit.
Just like now you have people shooting up in dirty alleyways. Mm-hmm. Where stuff is less accessible. You're not gonna stop people from doing it. It's just like prostitution.
Mm-hmm.
Prostitution is legal now. People backdoor alleyways. These side streets. You don't know what's going on. You don't know who the customers are. The girls fear for their lives all the time. When it's legal, you go to red light district out in Amsterdam. It's nothing.
Fucking around, got to show ID.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying because it's legalized. It's viewed differently over there. And people act about it. It's not all sneaky about the way you go about it.
Head up.
But it's facts. Think about it.
You're right. Thinking about illegal prostitution. How many girls? There's probably so many California that are being kidnapped, sold into sex slavery, that are being fucking murdered,
being force-fed drugs.
Right. Where it's like, all right, now you go somewhere where it's legal. And they're at risk for all kinds of diseases and
Keisha's
stuff like
story.
that.
Kendrick Lamar. You feel me?
Yeah, Keisha, that was a hell of a story. But I say that now, that's when it's illegal. You got to deal with all that. But now the legal side, you know what I'm saying? Like a Lamar Odom situation, he's at a bunny ranch spending $50,000 for 2 weeks to stay there. They're super hygienic. They do extensive fucking testing before you can go in and out. There's a background. You can't just walk in there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's security.
Exactly.
There's a lot more to it. And nobody got to get hurt. Wow. And there's not the violence.
There's not the violence associated with it.
Once you make shit legal, there's a lot less violence.
There's lots of violence. There's a lot less. There's a lot. It's safer. It's safer for the communities in general. And if you go to a lot of countries, they have places and facilities where people can go and do hard drugs.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Where in Oregon, we can go get needles right now and tell them we need these needles to go shoot some heroin. They'll give it to us. Like, here you go. But straight like that. I think in Newark too, they just started a program like that where they're giving out clean needles, and the whole incentive is to make the streets cleaner because these guys not only are people reusing needles, they're picking them up, they're leaving them in playgrounds, they're doing a lot of shit.
Yeah, and garbage cans you stick with it.
Oh my God, that is terrifying.
So there would be no cutting anything with fentanyl if it was legalized and regulated. Right. You know, so that would be a way. But, it's not going to happen. But that's, I think, to create a better society, like I said, anybody can go buy themselves a bottle and drink themselves to death, but nobody does that.
Yeah.
Damn, man. People always want to talk about the extremes when stuff happens, when we talk about conversations like this, but in reality, like, how often does that really happen? Because people at the end of the day are going to be responsible about it. They're adults,
Damn. Nah, you got a great point.
Yeah, man. It'll erase so much hurt and stuff, and but at the same time, that's counterintuitive to the prison population. That's counterintuitive to a lot of societal strongholds. People going to jail for selling illegal drugs, for using illegal drugs, for doing stuff to get illegal drugs. That and they're sending them to prison instead of rehab where they have to go, where they should be going. Because prison doesn't rehab you like you need to, but rehab doesn't make money like prisons do.
Damn. Damn, when you put it like that, that is fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
I mean, shit, but in a sense, though, I'm not going to lie. I mean, yeah, prison's supposed to be like a rehab and a reform. And a lot of people do actually bounce back. And I don't know if it's the pressure of, like, because you feel like you have to get better because once you go to jail, bro, that shit is a game changer. It changes everything about you. Like once you're in that motherfucker, it's just like, and then I can only imagine over time as you get used to the fact that you're still in there and you realize what you did to get in there. I think that does help reform and like reshape because there's so many countless stories of people that came out of jail and changed their life completely, did a complete 180, went in this positive route, and a lot of people say that like prison helped them out in the best way. So maybe, like you said, you said some people need to rehab. Those are like the drug addicts and stuff.
That's what. But we're talking about drugs. You feel me?
Yeah, but you also mentioned people going to jail to get the stuff they needed to get the drugs. I mean, to get the money that they needed to go get the drugs. Or the people that were selling the drugs. You know what I'm saying? Those aren't users. Those are just people that are selling drugs. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people. You said prison doesn't really rehab, reform, and maybe not rehab.
I was talking about as far as
your actual physical, like drug abuse, but it definitely can rehab your brain for sure.
Yes.
It'll rehab your brain.
That is a good point.
I'm not gonna put that out there. It can be a positive thing for people.
Oh, it could be. A lot of the skills, like J-Ha, a lot of the skills that he learned. Yeah. Well, the interview that we did before, shout out J-Ha. You feel me?
Shout out to J-Ha. Great interview. Y'all don't go check that out.
Great interview. A lot of the stuff that he learned while he was there.
You know what I did here? Okay, Charleston White. I bring him up again because it's what you said too before. A motherfucker can have a 3-hour interview and you'll find yourself agreeing with here and there points and you're like, damn, that makes a lot of sense. Even though the majority of what they said is just fucking wild.
You can pull out clips to anybody speaking.
He said some ill shit. He said prison is the way to preserve black life, and it fucked me up. The way he explained it was, man, do you know how many of these young black men that are in jail would be dead if they wasn't in jail? Would you rather them be dead? Would you rather them be in jail? At least they know they'll be back home in 20 years. They'll be back home in 5 years. They'll be back home. You taking away, and I'm a firm believer everything happens for a reason. So, you know what I'm saying? You never know what could have happened, especially if they were leading down a dark path. They were beefing, they were in gang wars, they were doing all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Prison is a way to preserve black life for real. Because in the streets, this shit ain't it. You know what I'm saying? There's probably like it's wild, man. When you really think about like the life expectancy in certain communities, you know what I'm saying? Like in Chicago, it's a fucking milestone. You make it over 18. You make it to 21 in Chicago, you a OG. You a big homie at 21. For real. If you see 30 in Chicago, chances are you did 10 years.
Yeah, you're about to say
if you didn't do that 10 years, you probably ain't gonna make it to see 30 for real. Especially if you in the streets. In places like Chicago and Florida, like it's fucking wild. When he said that, it really hit hard though. Like I'm like, damn, he's fucking right. Like it is a way, and that's why he's saying like how I'm talking about Charleston White, by the way. He said how prison changed his life because he had committed a murder when he was like 14, him and his friends, and they ended up giving a juvenile life sentence, and then that didn't change him enough, because he ended up getting back in some more trouble, ended up doing like another 5, ended up doing 12 years, but then he came out, and all his life's been about is dedicated to the youth and being a prison reform. And just and just spreading the word of like, listen, we got to be able to look in the mirror before we try to say, oh, this is what we should be doing. What do we do as a culture? What are we promoting? What kind of music are we listening to?
Absolutely.
Who do we big up? You know what I mean?
I absolutely agree.
If our favorite rapper is saying go shoot up his house, his mama crib, go spin at the wake, go fuck it, like, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you think these kids are gonna think is cool? What do you think these kids are gonna think is viral?
I absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Couldn't agree with that point. I couldn't agree with that point anymore.
So yeah, that he made a couple points, and every time I tune into his shit, he makes some points, and I'm like, damn, this crazy motherfucker got some good points.
But
I just can't get behind any of the fuck shit he was saying.
But you can anybody. And I don't disagree with anybody for the most part, 100%, and I don't agree with anybody for 100%. For the most part, I can take bits and pieces from everybody.
Yeah. 100%.
And make it make sense to myself and reevaluate it for myself.
But see, you have a that's a skill. You have the privilege of being smart enough to be able to do that. Because some people really hear some shit and they just run with it, man. People aren't open-minded enough to think, like, let me hear this whole point. Let me listen to this thing objectively. Everybody's so subjective, you know? And I feel like you really got to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes in order to understand them. Without any understanding, you can't progress. You have to have some type of understanding. You don't have to agree, but you have to understand. Okay, this person's doing this and this is why, and you can understand it. That don't mean you got to agree with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's just it's crazy.
And going back to what you said about Charleston White, and that is how the system is set up as far as the system is promoting prison sentences and jail sentences that's being funded, and instead of fixing up the communities. It's what it should be focused on. That's how it's set up. He made a statement that the prisons are...
Who made a statement?
Charleston White made a statement.
Oh, you started listening to Charleston White?
No, what you're saying.
Okay.
What you're saying. Like, he made the statement that prisons is preserving black life because that's the way the system's set up.
Yeah.
That's what the system is putting emphasis on.
Yeah.
Throwing your and think about it. All these courts are backed up, so as it's all about getting as many convictions as you can. Yeah. Many convictions as you can. Plead. No matter if you did or not. Plead rather than going to trial.
Right.
You know, it's all about, it's a numbers game. It's all about numbers. Pump as many people through the system as you possibly can.
Yeah. Nah, it's fucking wild, man. I was seeing this meme and it also fucked my head up. And touching back on Kanye West, bro. Like Donda Academy, his school in California, you know, it got shut down, right?
I saw that. Yeah, keep going. I got a big point.
They not only did it get shut down, but it was also one of the best basketball programs in the nation.
You were telling me.
They were because he's so smart. He doing exactly. Listen, I was on Free Gems in like episode 2 talking to y'all. I got to start this like sports my sports management company. Fucking genius, because Donda Sports is already a thing. He was already doing the sports management. So what makes more sense than to build a high school and have 3 of the top 50 players in the nation playing for your high school team? Because guess who they're going to sign with as soon as they get out? Their favorite rapper / favorite clothing designer / Kanye West. Why would it not go sign to Donda Sports? You feel me? So boom. Not only did they shut that down, which has a prestigious basketball, even though I want to say prestigious, but it's a pretty young school. It's only been out, I think, like a year or 2, so it can't really be prestigious. I don't have no history. But it just fucked me up because they shut down an entire school for anti-Semitism, and yet we grew up in a town where we have schools named Thomas Jefferson Elementary, and he's literally a slave owner. So how is it that all across this nation they have so many schools named after George Washington,
Robert E. Lee,
Robert E. Lee? There was a school in Virginia that just
Stonewall Jackson,
bro. Like, that's fucking insane to me. So what you're saying is it's okay to name a school after a slave owner, but the second this man speaks on anti-Semitism, we shut down his school, which is, it's not like it was a school that was trying to feed any negative thing. It was doing nothing but positive for the community. It was named after his mother. Like, but instead they're like, nah, it's Kanye West. We're gonna shut down for the rest of the school year. All these kids gonna have to relocate, figure out a new school, figure something out, go back to where you used to go because we can't have this school no more because it stands for something. And it's like, what about all these other schools?
Like I was saying, you know, it makes room for racism and sexism, but zero tolerance policy for anti-Semitism.
Damn,
and
that's deep.
This also brings back to another point that I made. I forgot which episode. Some point in the podcast. Think about it. You can say whatever you want about Kanye. He is one of the top 3 wealthiest African Americans in the history of this country. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Oprah has more. Maybe. Other than that, I think Kanye he's definitely top 3.
Yeah, well, actually, he got his Adidas pull. Everything got pulled.
I know.
So he's actually down right now.
I'm setting it up. I'm about to set it up.
Okay,
I'm about to set it up.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And he, so he's top 3 richest African Americans to walk in this country, and the fact that they can pull the plug on him like that goes back to what I'm saying, that we don't really own anything. So this is the man who might be the richest African American to ever walk,
and that shit means nothing.
And the fact that goes to show that we don't own anything. The fact that you can pull the rug on him,
right?
The richest African American,
right,
to walk this country. You can pull the plug on him. That means we don't really own anything. That's how you know at the top. There's always somebody at the top that don't look like us. Just the fact that can happen to the richest African American to ever walk this planet. I mean, walk this nation. And he got pulled from Adidas. Apparently, he stormed into Skechers.
Oh yeah.
And he got 9 out of there. But it really goes. I'm not saying anything about the comments that he was making, anything about the comments he was saying, but that really goes to show that we really don't own anything.
Yeah,
they'll give you
Skechers got him the fuck out of there.
They'll give you a record deal. They'll give you a sneaker deal, but at the same time you're the asterisk to their empire. You're the asterisk to them. They can take that away from you. Yeah. And this is a billionaire we're talking about. This is not no regular person. This is not no regular somebody who came up. This is one of the richest people.
Yeah, most
and they were able to take. That means we really do not own anything.
Damn,
it's the illusion of inclusion.
You know it's fucked up when Goodwill said they don't want no Yeezy products. First of all, Goodwill, stop fucking playing. Y'all whole shit is based off donations. So what you're saying is y'all so mad at Kanye he can't even donate the clothes for free? That's fucking insane to me. I understand people, motherfuckers is mad, but niggas need clothes. So what they expect? They want all the Yeezy shit to just be burnt? Like, who wins from that? Who benefits off that? I don't understand that shit. That shit got me tight. I ain't gonna lie. When I seen Goodwill popping shit, I'm like, first of all, Goodwill, y'all don't even got no real inventory. Y'all niggas better shut the fuck up. Y'all niggas better shut the fuck up. Because Salvation Army is popping. Salvation Army better not come out and say fuck Yeezy clothes, because that'd be crazy. If they sifting through the clothes and shit, like, oh, this is Yeezy slots, gotta get rid of these. I'm like, what? So now we can't even wear the shit? But I can literally go to fucking rural Alabama right now, and I will find the most fucking racist fucking merchandise ever. I'm talking about shirts that have the most crazy Confederate flags with literally a noose and all kinds of shit. I can buy that anywhere. Yep. I can go find that in South Jersey right now.
Absolutely, sure.
Like you can find that anywhere.
Absolutely.
So, it's like, okay, so you can literally have stores that sell that kind of merchandise, and it's all fun and games.
Energy is different.
The energy
is different based off who we're speaking about.
Yeah, don't get me started, because that shit got me tight. I was very upset at Goodwill, because I used to go to Goodwill and buy all my fucking video games. I used to buy bikes from there. They had bikes in there for $14.
Yo, they had everything.
Bro, I bought a bike in Goodwill for $14.
But that really goes to show that we really don't own anything. This is what we really don't own anything. The fact that they can pull the plug on him means we're really it's the illusion of inclusion. It's the illusion that we have stuff, but at the same time there's always somebody above us.
But you know, I really do think that this world is really it's based on a cycle, and everybody has a time. I feel like every culture, everybody has a time coming. Like right now, I don't know if you want to say white people got this shit on lock or Jewish people, because apparently the Jewish people are more important than just regular white people, because anti-Semitism, everything's out the fucking window once you do that. Cool. But there was a point in time where, you know what I'm saying, the richest and the most important, the most influential people were Africans. You know what I'm saying? There was a time where Asia had shit on lock. They was running around whacking shit, taking over the whole rest of the Western world. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's gonna slowly but surely come back. It might take thousands of years, but it'll be back. There will be white slaves. There will be. Not saying that that's what I want, but I'm just saying I feel like in due time, somehow, some way, we might be on Mars by the time this shit happens. But in a couple thousand years, this shit'll go right back to how it used to be, and then it's gonna revert again. And again,
of course, I don't condone slavery in any races.
No, of course, I
know what you're saying. But
even the ideology of slavery wasn't even a race thing. It was all about, listen, we dominated your people. It's over, because like tribes used to go to war and enslave the people that they beat.
I was just about to say, I didn't think we were going to talk about this topic, but there was different type of slavery. One was indentured servitude.
Yes,
where it was like a contract.
Right.
Like, okay,
you owe me for this.
You owe me for this, or I want your knowledge. Now this is a contract I'm entered into, right? Where I work for you for a certain amount of time. You can sell that contract to somebody else if you want.
It's fucking crazy.
Indentured servitude, where this for that.
Yeah.
Prisoners of war. Prisoners of war, as we were talking about.
Right.
And prisoners of war, for a lot of times, it wasn't a permanent sentence. Depending on they a lot of times they were able to re-enter society.
Word?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And what Europeans brought was the type of slavery that wasn't really practiced, chattel slavery.
Okay.
Chattel slavery, where like people like cattle, where you can buy and sell, and it was for life, and their children.
Right. It was generational.
Generational.
Too, right.
It was chattel slavery. There's actually, there's a story. Oh man, I can't think of her name. I cannot think of her name, or what country she represented. But there was a woman ruler in Africa who sold her. I don't know. I think they were indentured servants to Europeans during the time. She found out what they were actually doing and took up arms to get them back. Took up arms to get the people back.
What? Took up arms for people who don't know, mean that they went to war for it?
Yeah, they went to war.
Wait, you know, like around what time period? What year that was?
Was
that 1400s,
it could have been like, I think like 1600s.
Okay, that makes sense.
But but it was the introduction of chattel slavery and how it was practiced that was different from the types of slavery that was going on in the world.
That reminds me of like the gladiators and shit, like ancient Rome. Like when you just said how some slavery wasn't permanent. Like the Colosseum, when they used to, like, you see them cartoons or you got a motherfucker fighting a lion and shit, like that was real. And if he beat that lion, a lot of times you were free to go. Like, all right, you did that. You put on a show for the whole city. It's lit. You that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna stop you? You know what I'm saying? You just beat a lion in a fight, which probably didn't happen a lot. I don't know how often that shit happened, but that shit's crazy. But that was definitely a form of slavery right there in itself. They were like, look, you're captured. You're a prisoner of war. You want to get out? Go fight this lion in the middle of this Coliseum. Go figure that shit out.
But yeah, no, I'm not gonna. Obviously Europeans didn't invent the slaves. We were enslaving our people.
Yeah, slavery's been going on. In ancient Asia, China, they've been had motherfuckers as slaves. Like that's been a thing.
The Middle East?
Yeah. Come on now.
I'm saying that's been a thing, but it was how it was implemented. The chattel slavery element of it, and how so dominant and so long, and the stories that got out, that leaked. It was just how they went upon it.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on something.
And the way it was documented too.
And the way it was documented.
The way it was documented.
And that's another thing.
History.
A lot of stuff wasn't documented like
back
it was.
then, nobody even thought it was necessary to document it because this was just normal everyday life. Like, it was everyday life to just go, you know what I'm saying? We rummage through this village and take the strongest men out the way, rape the women, make some kids with them, have some mixed babies. Now there's Puerto Ricans in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's really how that goes. Like,
now you're not lying.
They just wasn't documented because it wasn't a big deal because that's just normal. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to pull up on this big-ass slave boat. It's a bunch of Europeans, a bunch of black people. We're going to land on this indigenous fucking island, and we're just going to populate this motherfucker. Everybody going to be fucking. And that's why you go to the Caribbean, and you can't tell what most people are. You could be Dominican, I could be Dominican. Motherfucker walking here with blonde hair, blue eyes, and they could be Dominican. Yep. You just can't tell. You know what I'm saying? It's because of that mix, that melting pot, and how it was just regular.
And how it, and speaking of the islands, the idea of slavery was different from the islands versus the Americas in the sense that in the islands, the Europeans that came there, it was just business purposes. They didn't want to stay.
Right.
With America, they actually stayed and settled. So in the islands, what became big after the Europeans left was colorism. Because obviously, okay, the Europeans come here, right? They populate. Guess what? They make light-skinned babies. They go back and leave. Right. Who's going to run the place? Light-skins. That trickled in a whole bunch of colorism to where the darker your skin are, the poorer they think you are, the less strong bloodline you have, the less worthy, deserving bloodline you have. And colorism has done something to this world that's so overlooked because we always want to think of racism, but colorism, what has done to this world is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
It's all over the world. You go to India, it's the same way.
Yep.
The same way.
Yep.
And it's crazy in India because there's so many people. If you're dark skinned and poor in India, you will most likely die dark skinned and poor because of how the system is set up to where you're not even going to get the opportunities.
Yeah,
the colorism and the push for whitening cream and lightening your eyes and hair.
That's crazy. You're right. That's a big thing over there in Jamaica too. Which is wild.
What you tell some Dominicans right now they not black.
Yeah.
The colorism is crazy. Yeah. What that did psychologically to where, you know, if you want to be anybody, if you want to move up in society, you cannot even claim the skin color you are. You can't even claim the hair you have. You can lie to yourself in the mirror every day to make yourself feel better.
But see, the ideology of colorism was before racism and was prevalent no matter what. I feel like that's inevitable.
Yeah, it was due to,
because it's a fact. I'm lighter, you're darker. People are just gonna start building. And the same way, a darker person will look at a lighter person and be like, "You're inferior." You know what I'm saying? Because me and my people look this way, and you and your people look that way. So I feel like that was gonna happen no matter what.
Yes,
I feel like that's a natural thing.
Yes, but
not that I agree with it, but I just feel like that would have happened no matter what. Because you're gonna always side with the people that look like you. That's how you build a family and build a tribe.
But what slavery did in the remnants of slavery, and how the power dynamics was vastly skewed to the people with lighter skin.
Right.
You know, and it was basically a secret society because they were the descendants of the slave masters. Of course, they're gonna take over when they leave.
Yeah.
Who they gonna put their children in charge? And the darker you were, the less likely you would ever see the top of the ladder. You know, you know, people would just try to be with lighter skinned people just for the hope and pray that kids end up lighter because they feel like that's gonna help them out in life and that's gonna put them in better foot than if they were darker.
That's a wild concept.
And that concept has us so messed up. So and I feel like, and the problem is I feel like that's the type of concept that's it's hard to just completely remove.
No, it is.
Yes, regardless of the Europeans being there or not. Now we're fighting over each other based on what they built, based on what they left, and that's I feel like that's a cycle that's going to continue. You feel like I said, you ask Dominicans, some Dominicans say they'll sway you up and down. They're not black. I'm not black.
They get offended too.
They get offended.
They get offended. Like what? I know black.
No.
Damn, bro, you just brought me through so many conspiracies and ideologies, man. I'm my head's spinning, man. But I mean, listen, we done had a great episode on this first.
Yeah,
studio,
for real.
Listen, Marv, we appreciate the new studio, man. We about an hour in, so I know it's about time we gotta get up out of here.
Yeah,
man. But I just want to say,
yo,
thank you,
great
everybody
episode,
everybody that got to tune in. I'm excited to post these clips, man. We got so many clips for Instagram.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, we got the heat. We got a lot of heat. We got a lot of heat here.
Man, listen, it's been the Free Gems podcast, man. I got Single to my left. JG's here
yes,
to
sir.
your right, man. Listen, we just want to say thank you again, man.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Great rest of y'all day.
And one last thing, you know, if you guys have any comments, any suggestions or anything, please.
Yeah, please DM us on the page. Yes. Our personal page is all in the bio.
If you have any suggestions or anything you'd like us to talk about, please, because we are open to suggestions.
Yeah, and as you can tell, we talk about pretty much every and anything.
And any walks of life. So if you want to know,
go get some college professors in this motherfucker that can really teach us some shit.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gonna talk.
We gonna talk. But listen, man, it's been the Free Gems podcast, man. Special thank you one more time, man. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day, man. God bless and all that.
Yes,
you know
we're out of here.
Are gone. Let's